Let's have a communication around Saccos, and then we shall also talk about, MSME development, whether it's supporting them through Hustler Fund, or whether it's supporting those who are starting up right now with the Nyota Fund and so on and so forth. All that falls in the docket of the Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives and MSME Development, FCPA Wycliffe Oparanya. He's our guest. Good morning, Waziri.
Good morning.
Good to have you here, Karibu Sana.
Thank you.
Normally we start welcoming our guest with the day's quote. Some words that were said by somebody, and let's see your reflection of those words.
Yeah.
Mariam will give you the quote.
Today's quote is by Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Alphabet, which is a parent company for Google. And he said, "Artificial intelligence will have a more profound impact on humanity than fire, electricity, and the internet." Artificial intelligence will have a more profound impact on humanity than fire, electricity, and the internet. Do you agree?
I think so, because that's where the world is going. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think.
Do you think it will be bigger than fire?
Than fire,
Yeah.
yeah. Can you imagine when they discovered fire?
Yes, yeah.
Or electricity? Waziri, let's start with the Sacco. Many people, many Kenyans are members of savings and credit cooperative societies. And then there's the whole issue of the Sacco management, where people say that, they put money into a Sacco. Sacco management has done whatever they've done with the money, pesa imepotea. Na sasa, hii serikali iko wapi?
Yeah.
Right? What is Sacco regulatory framework from where you sit? I mean, you've been here, you've been in government for many years.
Yeah, maybe let me give you the background. First of all, Saccos are private entities. These are associations of individuals coming together with the primary purpose of mobilizing resources so that they can also access affordable credit. That's the primary mandate of any Sacco that is established. When I took the office, sometimes in August 2024, I established that there are about 13,000 registered Saccos in this country. 13,000.
It's a lot.
And out of those 13,000, they had a total asset base of 1.1 trillion. Deposits of about 850 billion. And loans to members of about 750 billion. And about 7.4 million Kenyans are in one Sacco or the other. This is not, as you can see it, is not a small sector.
Yeah.
And during that time, that was the time that we had negativity about CUSCO. CUSCO had just failed, and people were accused of embezzlement of funds to the tune of 12 billion Kenya shillings. There are also other Saccos who were struggling at that time, like Metropolitan, which it was alleged that they had lost 7 billion Kenya shillings, and others were struggling. Obviously, with that, it was important that I look at the current Saccos Societies Act of 2008. And this is actually an old legislation, 2008, and now so many things have changed. And obviously, the essence is what you said. People are complaining that they are losing money because of weak governance. So I had to do something.
The something being?
On 20th May last year, 2025, I appointed a committee of experts. This committee of experts, I took two prominent international experts in Saccos, and then three prominent Kenyans, who had experience actually in the Sacco sector, to look at afresh the Sacco Societies Act and recommend what should be done. And I'm happy that last 2 months, they gave me recommendations that they have been undertaken, and I have also taken the privilege to brief the president on some of the recommendations that has been made in the report, and he has actually approved that we move forward to have those recommendations implemented to the letter.
What are some of those far-reaching recommendations?
Yeah, one critical issues that is in the Sacco is that only 355 Saccos are regulated. 300 out of the 13,000.
Yeah.
And the law was very clear that when you have a total asset base of 100 million plus, then you become regulated. And then the other, you are not regulated. You are just supervised either by the county government or by the commissioner of cooperatives. In institutions that have no capacity to look at all those other 12 plus of Saccos. As such, governance became an issue. So one of the critical recommendations is that we must harmonize, because a shilling in a bigger Sacco should be equal with a shilling in
a smaller Sacco.
A smaller Sacco. A shilling is a shilling.
Yep.
So why regulate others and you don't regulate others? So one of the recommendations is that now we must harmonize and have everybody regulated as it is happening in the banks. So that we don't
by the same entity.
by central bank. So that we don't have other banks being regulated, others not being regulated.
Right.
So that is one of the key recommendations. And secondly, they felt that SASRA, which is the regulator of Saccos, is a weak institution. So its mandate must be expanded to make sure that it has the teeth to enforce the law and to make sure that they carry out supervision as required. And they should also be resourced, properly resourced, so that they are able to carry out that responsibility.
Before you go on, actually, just give context to our viewers and listeners of the regulatory framework for Saccos, how the ministry and SASRA work.
You see, SASRA is sort of a parastatal. It's a regulatory within the ministry. So obviously, being a parastatal, it reports to the ministry. And the ministry regulates it in the sense that we appoint the board, the minister appoints the board, the president appoints the chair of the board, and also the ministry appoints confirms the managing director, the CEO of the institution, through the normal government regulation. So that is the relationship like any other state corporation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is that for many years, if Mariam and I wanted to start a Sacco, we just go register a Sacco somewhere and we can start collecting some money from members. But who registers this Sacco?
The Saccos at the moment, registration is done by the Commissioner of Cooperatives through the recommendation of when we had the new Constitution 2010, the county governments have a role to play because these are grassroots entities, so they need clearance at the county government's level. But the registration is centered at the Commission of Cooperatives here in my office, so that there is no duplication as such.
Okay.
So that's the registration. And it was simpler.
And what does it register
that you need just 10 people to come together and register. And that's why now we are looking at it. And if you look at the recommendations, it is now saying that we need 1,000 people to register a Sacco, and not just 10 people. And the problem that we have had, around when there is politics, there is a general election coming, is when you find that quite a number of people are coming together, registering Saccos, or aspirants are putting people together, telling them that we want to register, a Sacco, and then we want a Harambe. You see, a Sacco should be a voluntary.
Yeah.
People coming together with common objective. That's the essence of cooperative.
Yes.
It's not just putting people together. They must have a common bond as such and a common objective. So those are some of the things that we are now saying you must be 1,000.
1,000.
1,000 people. And you must have raised some money at least through your own effort, not through your rampage. When some people come to my office and say, now we want a rampage for Sacco, then I smell a rat. I say, that's not a Sacco. Because Sacco should be voluntary contribution.
Member contribution.
Member contribution.
What's the minimum asset base?
We are saying that the new ones, at least 10 million, 1,000 people.
10
at
million.
least, yeah.
Okay.
10 million, 1,000 people.
Okay.
So what I have done when I came to office, because of these so many circles, you can see that out of 13,000, they are just there. Nobody knows some of them where they are. Only 355 are regulated. 355.
Yeah.
So where are these others? And which manner are they handling? And for who?
Yep.
And you see, people have been confusing. Government is there just to regulate. I saw in the media saying that now the laws we are bringing, they are going to control them. No, there's nothing like government controlling the funds for Sacco. The government is just providing oversight through SASRA, giving more mandate to SASRA, and saying that everybody now should be regulated. Because each shilling in bigger Sacco is equal to a shilling in a small Sacco. Yeah.
So then what I'm foreseeing is a lot of these 12,700, 695 or something Saccos, they will come together probably, to
amalgamate.
You see, I had not finished the recommendation.
Okay.
So if I go through all the recommendations, because that is the other recommendation, that there must be consultation, consultate, and rebranding. Rebranding of Saccos. So as a ministry, we are now encouraging mergers and rebranding, because one over, and that's why I took two experts, one from the US and one from the UK, to be part of the committee of experts, so that there is some international flavor in their recommendation. Because Kenya, we are all going to Singapore, so we must be able to capture of what is happening in other parts of the world. So rebranding and matching is very critical, and we are saying that worldwide, our Saccos are now being called credit union. So those regulated can now transit to credit union. So when I'm out there and I'm representing the country, I'm talking about Saccos, I'm using the term credit union, because when you talk Saccos, then they would say, what is that guy talking about? What is this Sacco?
Yeah.
Because the name is now credit union. And we are saying it is progressively. We want to do the phasing over 3 years.
Okay.
And then we are saying that the people who manage these Saccos should be people with integrity. So, and before you become a CEO of a Sacco, because what we have seen, people mismanage a Sacco, they are sacked, and tomorrow they are in another Sacco, maybe in the same position, or even with a promotion.
Yeah.
So we are saying now, before you are appointed as a CEO, at least SASRA must look at you and say, do you have the necessary qualification, the necessary experience, integrity, and so on. Because this is even what is happening with the banks. Because you cannot just be a CEO of a bank unless central bank approves your name and so on. And that's what we are saying. And even if you are being sacked, they have also to be part of it, because you are maybe being sacked to be strict. You are strict to the directors. That's why they are sacking you.
Sure.
So we have also to know why are you being sacked. So just also to protect your position. The other issue that we found out that cooperatives, SACCOs have been borrowing money to pay dividend, or paying money to give loans. They borrow money from a commercial bank at 18%, and then lend to members at 12%. Who pays the difference? And they do this because sometimes the directors want to please members. Because if they see, members see that you are not facilitating them as quick as possible, then the next election you are not there. So that's what they have been doing. So we are saying we want to create an environment where SACCOs can facilitate themselves. We are creating a self-sustaining sector. So we set up a central liquidity fund where SACCOs with excess funds can place into that central liquidity fund. And then other SACCOs that have stress of liquidity, then they are able to tap into that. So that you don't need to wait. And that's being a self-regulating is money within SACCOs themselves. They can agree themselves of how they should lend to each other. Even with banks, overnight lending is there. That's the same thing we want to go. And then the other issue is we want to protect members' deposits. So we are establishing a deposit protection guarantee fund, deposit protection guarantee fund, like in banks, and we are saying that being a new thing, we want to have it under Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation, which is for banks. Now we go there for incubation for some time until we mature, because there at the bank level you are guaranteed that if the bank goes under, at least you have 500 that you recover immediately.
500,000.
And even in law, in the Sacco Societies Act 2008, they say 100,000, but we want also to go to 500. So as soon as, because I learned when I came to my office, people are coming there, Saccos have gone under, they are demanding their money, and as low as 70,000, they are not able to get. So this is what we are saying. Now, that one you are guaranteed, the money is there. We are also saying we create this as self-sustaining institution where the government is no near. We create also a stabilization fund. Any SACCO that is under stress, they are able to go to this fund, borrow money, stabilize themselves, and then pay back the money and continue. So the fund will be built by minimal contribution from all SACCOs. They build a fund that they can tap in when they have a problem.
They're in distress. Waziri, we'll take a break and then come back and continue this conversation. There are very many new things that you're introducing into this. And I'd like to walk into them and see whether they're indeed going to move the needle and protect people's deposits, because 850 billion shillings of cash, people that have put money into a SACCO or another, it's a lot of money. 1 trillion shillings in assets is a lot of money. And that's why we're having a conversation with the Cooperative and MSMEs Development Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya on this new move of safeguarding people's money in SACCOs. Are you a member of a SACCO? How many?
And before we take the break, let me tell you that the 3 top SACCOs are bigger than some of the banks. 3 top SACCOs. That is Mwalimu, Stima, and Police. They're bigger
in terms of asset base.
In terms of assets.
Than several commercial banks.
Several commercial banks.
So you can imagine in Africa.
They have assets over 70 billion.
That is quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
All right, hold that thought, CS. We'll be right back after this break with Wycliffe Oparanya, CS for Cooperatives and MSME Development.
Our conversation is on SACCOs. Imagine there are 13,000 registered SACCOs in the country, registered with the Commission of Cooperatives. But of those 13,000, only 355 fall under the ambit of the Sacco Societies Regulatory Authority, SASRA. Why? Because SASRA only deals with those that have 100 million shillings total asset base and above. Many of these others, 12,635 or 45, are below that. And when you see SACCOs going under and all, they are not under direct regulation. They're just under supervision here and there.
Right.
And the Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives and MSME Development, Wycliffe Oparanya, is here and is telling us some of the reforms that he's introducing into this sector are that, number one, you cannot actually just come 10 people. Me, Mariam, how many we're in the studio? 10.
Yeni chama.
We go and register Sacco today at pesa kidogo. Ala tuitisha harambee waziri situpatie pesa kidogo. We can go and register. No. A Sacco, at least 1,000 people with 10 million shillings in asset base, then you go and register as a Sacco. And then you fall directly into the ambit of the SASRA. So that you're better registered. That's going to force all these other 12,000 plus SACCOs to start thinking.
Yes.
And they'll be given time over that. Also, if a SACCO goes under, how do you protect the money of the depositor? So the Deposit Protection Guarantee Fund, to be incubated under the central bank's current one, the Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation, and then they should become independent and go on and so forth. If a SACCO is under distress, instead of just watching it collapse, there's a stabilization fund being proposed, so you now have a way of sorting yourself out. Waziri, I have one question.
Central liquidity
clever
fund.
student.
A central liquidity fund.
You have summarized it well. You're a very clever student.
My
student.
issue
A
is
student.
on
Yeah,
SASRA.
a student. Yeah.
I'm on SASRA, Waziri.
Yeah.
Because we are still saying that the Commission of Cooperatives is on to register,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then SASRA to regulate.
Regulate.
Why not have SASRA register and regulate?
You
The
know,
central bank licenses banks and regulates banks.
yeah. But does not register banks.
Okay, yeah.
You need to separate the two. There's separation, regulation, and registration. So it's better governance, so that whoever registers does not regulate. So we are saying the Commission of Cooperatives should continue registering them, but they should be expanded mandate for SASRA to license and regulate them.
Okay. What about deposit-taking SACCOs with a front office now? Do they still only fall squarely under SASRA?
Yes.
Or does the banking sector come in?
No, the banking sector does not come in, and that is an issue for conversation, because, in fact, I've been trying to get the governor of Central Bank and to see how that role can be dual.
Right.
So that they have also a role. And in any case, the governor is on the board of SASRA. Is a member of the board.
Okay.
And that was intentional, so that he can also have the, obviously it's represented by someone, but he can have a say or just give the input how those forces can be controlled also.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the Deposit Protection Guarantee Fund, I know currently it's about 100,000, but you're saying let's move it to about 500,000.
Yes.
It's still low.
No, if you looked at most of the savings of these cooperatives, I can tell you 90% are below 500. 90%. So by moving it from 100 to 500, you have covered 90%. That's good enough.
Should it not be?
And we are just saying this is a relief.
The savings.
This is an immediate relief. Assuming you have a saving of 2 million, you will have 500 immediately back, but you will still have 1.5 that now you will be receiving gradually as receivership goes on.
During the
but we are not foreseeing any receiverships because now of stabilization fund that will now be injected in to make sure that we create stability. But in case, we are saying in case.
I always wonder why it's not a proportion of the savings, so that then everybody can get back something.
Equal.
Yeah, an equal portion of their savings.
And you see, in such a case, you see the contribution this is something that the sector must decide, because they are the ones who are going to contribute towards that deposit protection fund.
Yeah.
So they can make amendments depending on how they want it to be.
Okay.
Because these recommendations, they have to go to the parliament, and parliament will also do public participation. Yeah, so they can make those recommendations.
All right. There's this rebranding moving towards credit unions. What is the difference between a Sacco and a credit union?
It's just the same thing. It's only that credit union is the known international name. We can still stick to Sacco, but they will say we are in the 18th century. Yeah, we are still using Sacco.
Okay.
Yeah, but the meaning is the same. It's just like we have started the journey to Singapore. So we must also, on the way to Singapore, we must adapt terms that are there as we go to Singapore.
A few names on the way.
The names that are on the way.
Another one of the recommendations was, amalgamation, mergers, basically folding into one another, so that I think they can be able to achieve this 1,000 minimum members and how much 10 million shillings, one asset base. Now, given that you said essentially a cooperative comes together because people have a common good. We are selling coffee. We are, maybe we're not farmers. We are union workers from wherever. This is our cooperative. What happens when essentially people have different goals, and now they are part of a cooperative that has 50 members, 200 members, 300 members. They're not able to amalgamate with Eric's Sacco because we're doing very different things. Him, he's mining, I am farming tea.
I've clearly said that the objective of any Sacco is to mobilize resources to give members affordable credit. That's the bottom line. You can be doing other things. So you can be mining, can be coffee, but when we come into a Sacco, the objective is one. So we can allow you to do your own business privately, but contribute to the Sacco for that purpose. And you need that Sacco to help you do your own business, whether you are mining. When I come, because you are there as an individual. So when I come there, I borrow money. I can go do mining, I can go and do my coffee, I can go do my dairy. It doesn't matter. But the objective of coming together is to mobilize resources for affordable credit.
Currently, we still have, the ongoing issue of CUSCO.
Yes.
12 billion shillings is a lot of money.
Yes.
That belongs to SACCOs, that belong to members of those SACCOs.
Yes.
And, members now get shocked at hearing that, their Sacco had put money somewhere in some other Sacco and the money is gone. So what are you doing to ensure that this members' money actually comes back to the members?
This issue, of course, I found it when it was just hot, when I came to the office. And already there was a report, a forensic audit report that was given by Price Waterhouse. And this report was handed over to our law enforcement agencies. And because of that report, a few officers have been taken to court. And that's the best that we could do as a ministry. Forward the report, let them operate. So it's now beyond my control because it is already with the judiciary, and that's the best that I could do. But obviously, this issue happened because of weak governance in the system and weak supervision. So we blame Sasara as a weak institution. At the same time, we blame the structure of governance within the SACCOs. And that's why these two areas must be tightened.
So beyond the court case, there's nothing else that you can do?
There's nothing else I can do, for sure.
Because there's court case is against the individuals.
Yes, yeah.
Who were mentioned in this report
Yes.
and who held managerial roles
Yes.
in CUSCO.
Yes.
But then, CUSCO has assets.
Yeah.
CUSCO had money.
Yeah.
And CUSCO members are demanding access to some of this money.
Yeah.
What are you doing to facilitate? I mean, you must have a facilitating role.
Now, CUSCO had assets, but the assets that CUSCO has is not adequate to compensate these members. There are some few houses here and there in Kitengela and so on, which we are trying to sell, so that and most of them have been paid at least $1 million for recovery, but that's a drop in the ocean. We have been able to raise about 300 million shillings, which we have paid back to the members. But 300 million versus 12 billion, you can see. Yeah, and you see, when you are dealing with selling of assets, it takes time. Yeah, so we are thinking of restructuring CUSCO, because CUSCO used to play a very good role, very important role. The only thing that whoever were given responsibility to do that, then mismanage the whole process.
So the bottom line is, what you're saying right now is there's a high likelihood of these billions are lost.
Yeah. There's likelihood.
So
And even if the recovery is there, not full amount will be recovered.
So the Saccos should write them off.
They have written, most of them. We have advised them to do the same, so that we start from the clean sheet. And that's the reality of life.
There's also the question of the timeline for writing these off in their loan books.
Yes, we told them that they should take about 3 years to do so. Some of them were bold enough and wrote them once. Some of them have been doing it slowly.
So there was no directive to write it off all at once?
No, there was no directive. We said they spread it to 3 years.
Okay.
But some of them have requested that they spread it 5 years.
Yeah.
So we have said, so long as there is cushion, then we have no problem.
I don't know for the members of CUSCO, it's a bit dire. I'm thinking, what stopgaps, before we go into talking about MSMEs now, what stopgaps have been put in place to make sure that something like this doesn't repeat itself, that we don't see another CUSCO scandal a few years down the line, or another umbrella body that is collapsing with depositors' money?
First of all, apart from reviewing the Sacco Societies Act, we are also reviewing the Cooperatives Act. Cooperative Act is also an old act. And I'm happy that the Cooperative Act, Cooperative Bill, the revised one, is already with the Parliament. It has gone through the National Assembly. It has also gone through the Senate. It is at the mediation stage. We are also reviewing the Sacco Societies Act. So the two acts put together, they are going to address some of these issues when they go through. They are recommending strong governance structures within SACCOs, and within even the cooperative movement as a whole. The problem is not in SACCOs only. In other even agricultural societies, we have still a problem. Yeah. So that is a major step that I think the government has done.
There's Lincoln is saying there's a bill in Parliament about an introduction of a mega Sacco to manage Saccos.
I don't know what is that mega Sacco. Actually, I'm not aware of that, because what came from the ministry does not recommend a major Sacco, although making of legislation is a responsibility of Parliament. So if Parliament has introduced a mega Sacco, I don't know. And what is the name of that mega Sacco?
Okay.
Yeah, those are some of the rumors that have been going on in the social media, that they are baseless. I can say those are baseless rumors.
Nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
All right.
Yeah.
In cooperatives, there's a question that somebody had asked here around
Reforms
is
in
there
the
any
coffee-
push for reforms in coffee cooperatives, especially around the resistance to the direct settlement system?
The
Direct settlement system. Settlement system.
I think they have the misconception. What the government is doing is creating an enabling environment for the cooperative movement to thrive. Yeah, because cooperative movement has over now 15,000 in total, 15 million people in it. And these are adults. That's quite a number if you look at 15 million adult Kenyans in this movement. And these are mainly people at the lowest economic pyramid, the lowest level, at the grassroots. This is not a small movement. So what the government is doing is to make sure that they create an enabling environment for these people to do their business without others taking advantage of others. That's what the government is doing.
How so?
Yeah. So the direct settlement scheme came because there were the brokers who were selling coffee on behalf of the farmers.
Yeah.
And they could stay with the money for 5 months, 6 months before they give the money to the farmers. And because of that, the farmers gave up. And that's why production of coffee dropped in this country. Now, the government came in and said, how do we make sure that the farmers get their money on time? Yeah. So the Nairobi, when there is an auction at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange, the money is paid direct by the buyer, direct to the cooperative bank.
Right.
And the cooperative bank is able to remit this money to the farmer within 5 days. So that period has been reduced from 6 months, 5 months, to 5 days. Yeah, what else would you say the government is not doing?
Why are those?
And this is for the farmer.
Why are the naysayers pushing back?
Now, why they are pushing back is that they are not comfortable. The members of the officials of cooperative are not comfortable. The farmers being paid direct. They still want this money to be paid to the cooperative, and then the cooperative pays the farmer.
Yep.
But we are saying, why can't also the farmer be paid direct?
Directly.
And if a farmer has something to do with cooperatives, he can now come and pay the money that is required to pay to the cooperative. If he has taken fertilizer, he is able to come and pay for the fertilizer. So it seems there's no trust of the farmers themselves who are together.
And you can see why. I mean, if today FCPA Wycliffe Oparanya was the chairman of a certain cooperative that is for sugar farmers.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
These sugar farmers.
Yeah, say coffee farmers.
Coffee farmers.
Yeah.
That's
where I am.
Let's walk with coffee farmers.
Yes.
Of coffee farmers.
Yes.
These coffee farmers took some inputs. Through the cooperative. So they got fertilizer, they got some pesticides and all through the cooperative.
Yes.
With the understanding, as has always been, that when the money comes, I'm going to deduct for all these inputs and then pay you the balance.
Yes.
Now, you as the chairman of that cooperative, would you be comfortable if that money comes directly to Eric the farmer? And then you're starting to chase Eric the farmer to repay.
What we are saying, if you don't trust the farmers, if you don't trust the farmer, that if the farmer gets her money or his money, is not able to pay the cooperative, we are saying this. Why can't out of the 100 shillings, the cooperative gets 20, the farmer gets 80. And if there is any shortfall, then the farmer can work on it. Will you be comfortable as a cooperative officer?
So
80 to 20.
80-20.
Yeah.
We split.
We split.
Okay.
Are you?
Maybe
And that's what we are now suggesting.
The thing now would
to be put in legislation.
That the management of the cooperative will be looking at the only amount that I can lend to a farmer is on average of what I expect you to earn, 20% of that. So I'm looking at the size of your farm, and this is how much I can give you.
And in any case, my friend, the government now has provided inputs for the farmers at very subsidized prices, which the farmer can even be able to obtain from her or his own money. And in the coffee sector, there is even advance that you can access to, the cherry fund.
So then isn't
You
government
see-
edging out cooperatives? I don't know.
We are not edging out cooperatives. How will I edge out cooperatives? And what I will be minister for what?
So,
If I edge out cooperatives.
But if you're providing,
thinking the same thing,
you're providing, what is it, inputs at a subsidized rate, whether it's fertilizer, whether it's actual tools of trade.
Yeah.
Then what is the cooperative coming to do?
Is to organize members together
For
to
marketing.
collect their produce, put it together, aggregation. It's not supplying these other things.
Okay.
We are saying, come out of these things. We do it for you as government. We subsidize them. But try to put together farmers, educate them, put their produce together, take it to the market, sell, the money comes. Now, if we are doing that, what else do you want?
so cooperative becomes just the market facing.
Yeah.
And
And then aggregate.
aggregator.
Aggregating.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to MSMEs as we go into the next hour now, and we'll talk MSMEs and siasa kidogo.
Yes.
Let's just begin with some quick numbers. Let me begin with Hustler Fund. How many Kenyans have taken Hustler Fund loans? How much has been taken? How much has been paid back?
Yeah, I think there have been misconception out there that Hustler Fund is not working. I can tell you from today that many Kenyans have access to Hustler Fund. Of course, at your levels, you don't feel it because maybe sometimes you don't go into the portal and be able to borrow. But at the moment, we have 27 million Kenyans who have been able to access Hustler Fund. Of course, about 9 million who are active, who borrow, repay, And so far, we have spent about 70 billion. You can imagine. This is not small money. And you see, this was a deliberate move by the government to make sure that the people that are not economically endowed have access to some credit. And I was happy the other day, some young man was talking to me saying, Hustler Fund really helps me. Even when I go to Mjengo, I'm able to borrow 200 shillings. I have my lunch and supper there. And at the end of the week, I borrow 200 per day. By the end of the week, when I'm paid, I repay back. Yeah? So you can see to those people, that is very critical.
So it's a fuliza.
You might not see.
It's a fuliza of sorts.
Yeah, it's sort of a fuliza. Yeah,
But that wasn't
it's
the
the
intention.
same thing.
It wasn't the intention of Hustler Fund, was it?
Yeah.
Before even we go to the intention, Eric, I wanted to get one more statistic. 70 billion shillings has been loaned. How much has been paid back?
You see, I know initially we had a problem. We have core money, core debt that has not been repaid. Of course, about 12 billion or so.
12.
Yeah, about 12. Yeah? But those are people who are thinking that time that, this fund has been created as a political reward. When it was not a political reward, it was just a facility that was created for them. So, otherwise, these other 9 million people, as I've told you, who are active, now they borrow and repay. Yes.
Any efforts to reach out there for the 12 billion?
No, what we are just saying is we are sensitizing Kenyans to repay. We are sensitizing Kenyans, and unfortunately, when we were when we were starting the fund, there were no inbuilt controls to make sure that the money is recovered. Like Fulisa. You see Fulisa, when you Fulisa, immediately you put in money, it is taken. But
it's
with the Hustler Fund, that is not the case. The only thing that when you have a debt, you cannot access it anymore until you pay the previous one.
We'll take
That's
a break,
the only control.
Waziri.
Yes.
As we are going into this break, somebody told us to remind you that when you are campaigning
Yes.
to be the cabinet secretary for finance and Azimio,
Yes.
you told people, watu wakupatia fuliza hustler kula. Na usilipe. You'll answer that.
Okay.
Wycliffe Oparanya is the cabinet secretary for Cooperatives and MSME development. We'll talk about Hustler Fund, Nyota, and also Siasa. He's one of the experts from ODM.
Yeah.
We wonder whether he's still a member of ODM. He'll answer that question shortly.
Yeah.
Our conversation continues with the CS for MSME development, Wycliffe Oparanya. And we're talking about the Hustler Fund.
Yes.
Waziri says, so far since Hustler Fund was launched in December 2022, 27 million Kenyans have borrowed.
Yeah.
Out of this, 9 million are active borrowers. That means they've borrowed more than once, twice, thrice.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
70 billion shillings has been disbursed so far through the Hustler Fund. And there's a small matter of about 12 billion shillings,
Yeah.
which is non-performing, which has not been repaid. Waziri, you've been quoted in the media before,
Yeah.
saying, we shall come for you. We know who you are. You owe us our money. We shall come for you. Do you really know who owes you this 12 billion shillings?
Exactly. I know all of them, plus the ID numbers, plus their mobile numbers, because we have that data. Yeah, that's how the system was set up. It's clear.
Have you prompted them?
Yeah, they are being prompted. Some are paying. They are being prompted all the time that have you paid your Hustler Fund? Have you? That is always done. You try to borrow. Try to borrow and see if you go beyond the period required to repay, you will be prompted also.
Okay.
Yes.
How many people are we talking about?
We are talking about 7 million people.
Okay. These are 7 million lines that borrowed. Are those lines still active?
Yeah, some have changed lines, but even if you change lines, you don't change your ID because the ID number is there. So if you change your line, it does really not matter. The critical document here is the ID.
So what effort are you making to actually recover this money?
The only thing we are doing is just to sensitize and request those who have borrowed to repay. So far, we have not taken any legal action to recover. But this speaking public funds, obviously, we will have to take some action.
The political
near
message that I'm
future.
hearing here, Waziri,
Yeah.
is if I borrow and I don't repay,
Yeah.
the government will just be sending me messages.
No.
Please
Yeah,
pay.
no.
Ebu lipa aki weye.
Yeah.
Ebu lipa aki Eric.
Yeah,
Eric,
yeah.
lipa.
Hii ni pesa yako.
Yeah.
Hii ni pesa yako.
So-
So we cannot leave an individual to borrow public money and not be able to repay. Yeah. So I'm using this chance also to appeal to them to pay.
Are they?
That's Kenya. And you know, if you keep on borrowing and borrowing and repaying, then your credit limit also goes up.
Yes.
You are able to, at the moment, you can borrow up to 150,000. You can imagine.
Yeah.
Borrowing at 150,000 and then you repay in 30 days. If you are a mama mboga, that's small, good capital for you to run your business.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Waziri, I don't have confidence here. We have a fixer called the Kikombe, who keeps telling us the value of $1 billion.
Yeah.
And every day he'll tell us different things about $1 billion. He told us, for example, yesterday, that from the moment you were born, if you started just writing, until you die,
Yeah.
you will not have
You
written
can't
1
write
billion
a billion
words.
words.
$1 billion is that much. 12 billion shillings is a lot of money that could go into something.
Yes, yeah. I agree
And
with you.
The laissez-faire attitude with which the government is going to at recovering of this money tells me, because you know I'm Kenyan, you know Kenyans have this serious lack of trust, tells me that this money was a heist.
No. I can tell you that, first of all, these are small amounts. You can see the number of people. If 7 million people borrow 200 shillings, that will be 14 million. 14 billion.
So 14 billion, yes.
14 billion. 7 million people borrowing 200. So even if you were to take legal action to recover 200, you can see your cost. What will be your cost? So we are telling that Kenyans, be disciplined people, be people of good behavior, you should borrow and repay. And this is public money that will help you.
Very well said, Waziri. Have you ever heard of the Mulot brothers? Mulot brothers.
Brother,
So anyone who's listening and has heard of the Mulot brothers, basically it's groups of very clever, they're called sharp boys, all right, who use multiple SIM cards to defraud.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
I know, yeah.
So how do we know that these are not, you know, a Mulot brothers kind of guy, who are like 3 or 4 chaps who have taken 5
500 here, 500
500
there,
there.
700 there,
12
1,000 there.
But those ones were changing SIM cards.
That's what we do.
I've told you.
That's the
I've
brothers
told you
modus
clearly.
operandi.
I've told you clearly. Here, our critical document is the ID. You cannot keep on changing IDs. You can keep on changing your numbers, but the ID will not change.
So is it one loan, one ID, or one loan, one SIM card?
No, you can have you have your ID. You can borrow 100 times using
Yes.
the same ID.
I mean,
yeah, but you see now when
an account, for example,
Yeah.
is it pegged to your ID number or to a SIM card? Because your SIM card is pegged to your ID, yes.
Yeah.
But is my account pegged to my ID or to my SIM card? Because
both of them, it's pegged to both of them. Yeah. So if you change your number, the ID remains.
But
So
I
your
can-
reference is still there.
But I can borrow with a new number.
You can borrow with the new number. Yeah. But if you borrow with the new number and you put in your ID number, then you will be rejected. If you have not
if you have
paid.
a pending loan.
Yeah. So ID is a critical document in this essence.
Okay.
Yeah.
The regulations that establish the Hustler Fund, what are they called?
The management, public financial management only.
Yes, under the PFM.
Financial inclusion.
Under the PFM Act,
Yes.
is a financial inclusion
Yeah.
regulation.
Regulation.
Right?
Yes.
So the whole idea of the Hustler Fund is financial inclusion.
Yes, financial inclusion.
The thinking, as was being campaigned with during the campaign of those other guys, you are not there with them.
Yeah.
They were saying that we want to empower micro enterprises
Yes.
to get credits, affordable credits,
Yeah.
very easily, so they can grow their businesses,
Yeah.
and they can now start looking good to the financial services sector.
Yes.
So basically moving the unbanked or the unbankable to be banked.
Yeah.
The success of Hustler Fund, to me, is not 9 million active subscribers, 70 billion disbursed funds, 27 million Kenyans. It is if you came and told me how many micro enterprises are now banked
Yeah,
as a
that-
result of the facilitation
yeah.
with the Hustler Fund.
Yeah, to me, that is critical, and that is a good question. That is what the essence of Hustler Fund, and it still remains the objective, the main objective of Hustler Fund is to move the masses from unbankable to bankable. Yeah, yeah, and I can tell you it has been a success. We have so far not documented the impact. We are undertaking that particular exercise. This is a massive exercise involving, 27 million people. It's not a simple exercise. But we are now undercarrying that to know the impact of the Hustler Fund. And I'm hopeful that before the end of this year, there will be a report.
So far, we don't have any indication.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm sorry, we don't have any, but we are undertaking it at the moment.
I think the
Again.
indication is what you were saying earlier, which is the borrowing trends don't speak to building a business, they speak to meeting short-term needs
Yeah.
for Kenyans,
Yes.
right? Sina fare this week, but I'm expecting money at the end of the week. Hustler Fund. Sina, I don't have this, I don't have that. So it's 500 bob here, 1,000 bob there, 2,000 and so on.
Yeah, but that is making you also, make a living out of Hustler Fund.
It is acting
That's
as
not the
a
intention.
stopgap, but not
Yeah.
as a not actually enabling you to build
To
something.
build, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if someone has been borrowing 2,000 and now is borrowing 150, obviously, it shows that you have grown in
But-
terms of your business.
Waziri,
Yes,
Waziri,
isn't it?
the objective
Yeah,
is to transform Eric Latif
yeah.
from being unbankable
Yeah.
to now being bankable.
Yeah.
That is the entire essence
Yeah.
of the Financial
I
Inclusion
agree.
Fund,
Yeah.
aka Hustler Fund.
Fund.
If this government has 3 years down the road,
Yeah.
has no story it can show me of some Eric Latif who was not suitable to bank
Right.
and is now banking, this thing is a failure.
It is not. I can tell you that, before, people were allowed to borrow a minimum of 100 100 shillings to 500. Now, a bridging loan was established for those people who showed good behavior of borrowing and repaying. And by the time we were introducing the bridging loan last year, but one in October, already 2 million people had shown good behavior of borrowing and repaying.
Right.
Obviously, you have transformed 2 million people now to move to the next stage of now borrowing the bridging loan, which means they have done well.
Okay.
And now we are saying these 2 million people, we are now doing an impact assessment. Have they now graduated to borrowing from commercial banks? What type of business have they set up? How many people they have employed? This is not an overnight exercise.
It is not.
And that's what we are doing.
It's not, and I hear you. And my final issue on this one, Waziri, is the Hustler Fund Board and the Secretariat, have they been looking at this data and working in collaboration with, say, the Kenya Bankers Association to say, we are bringing to you a group of people who should now be bankable? This was their credit history before, 0. This is their credit history now. It is active and positive, and they are bankable. And they are running micro and small enterprises.
Now,
they are hustlers.
I can tell you that these people, as they borrow, repay, they are getting what is called credit rating. They are now being scored. And that scoring is being recognized by the commercial banks. If you went to a commercial bank, said, I want to borrow 500,000, you have been borrowing 150, they will say, can we have your credit rating?
Yeah.
That credit rating is already an asset, which shows it has promoted you. You can borrow 500 from a commercial bank without giving a collateral. Yeah? So that is a success story. And that's what we are doing. Because we have introduced what is called credit rating AA, AB, like that. 9, yeah?
All right, with MSMEs, still quite a large chunk of MSMEs will fail within their first year.
Yeah.
That's in Kenya, but it's a global thing. It's a global thing. Here, though, the failure rate sometimes seems more stuck, maybe because it's closer to home. And then we still have a majority of MSMEs still operating outside the formal sector in a way. It's your Juakali artisans, it is the mamambogas, it is even a small startup that still has not formalized, things enough to be structured. In your time as CS, what has changed as far as failure rates for MSMEs, support structures for MSMEs, and of course making sure that they actually can transition into growing, thriving businesses?
First of all, you must find out what makes them fail. What makes this MSME fail after
1 year,
1 year, some go up to 3 years, majority go up to 3 years. What makes them fail is capital, very crucial. If these small businesses do not have access to capital, then they will fail. But because that is critical.
True.
And that's why Hustler Fund came in to cushion such an institution. And apart from that, we have other funds. We have the Women Fund.
Sorry, I have to challenge you on that one, Waziri, because we've just discussed that essentially people are not using Hustler Fund for their business. I know you've talked about, again, the credit rating and
I've told you. I've told you. I just gave an example of. You have now stuck to the example I've given, but I've told you people are now borrowing 150. I was just telling you the success story. So, Hustler Fund is one of the source of capital. There are other government funds, like Women Fund, Youth Fund, Weso Fund. these funds are meant, they are playing the same role.
Yeah.
And even the government has said, if now you graduate on, you can go to Kenya Industrial Estates and borrow up to 20 million. If you want to go on, and you are stuck within the government system, you can go to Kenya Development Corporation, and there you can borrow up to 500 million Kenya shillings. So the government has developed a capital system. So long as you are a disciplined person, you are able to carry your business without, in a proper within the law, then you have no problem of capital. Of course, sometimes there is shortage of funding here and there. And that's now, there's an option to you now going to commercial banks. So that's critical. Number two, the government now is creating digitization as one of the key aspects, to make sure that these small businesses are able to be educated on digitization of their businesses. Use your mobile phone to take money to the bank, to withdraw money from the bank, so that you don't move from out. You are able to go to the internet to know where you can get to your products, at what price. So that education is very important. And number three, the markets. We create awareness. Wherever you are doing, what you are doing, and we have forums all over. We have in the ministry what is called MSME Connect, where we have forums, and these people come, we will advise them how to get capital, how to go digital, and how the markets are. And we have even the MSME conference market for East Africa, where we meet every year. With all these 8 countries coming together.
To Kenya.
Together. The government is doing this just to make sure that they also have the market access, the entire East Africa.
It's a good thing. I think the MSME conference is actually a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
On the funds, though, I'll ask the practicality of these funds, because they have existed. We can thread them from Uwezo, Women's Fund, Youth Fund,
Youth Enterprise Development
Youth
Fund.
Enterprise Fund. Now we have Hustler Fund, we have Nyota. Through and through, they have shown very little tangible impact on the sectors that they are meant to be funding. Whether it's the failure rates, whether it's reports from the Auditor General on the use of the funds, they become just a conduit for a few people who know the person on the board or the person to get some money here and there. Not talking about Hustler Fund specifically, but as a ministry, you also have the mandate of policy, and there's so much more that could be done to spur MSMEs from a policy perspective, as opposed to this fund system that has been shown not to work time and time again.
Let me tell you that to me what has been critical is information. There has been no proper sensitization of the funds. Now there is. Number two, there has been no proper training. You see, sometimes if I just come and give you money, you have never been in business, and I give you money to go and do
I'll
business.
eat the money.
You don't know how now to deal with the money.
Yeah.
So we are saying that training is very critical, and that's why you can see in Nyota, we have emphasized the need of training, basic training, to make sure that you understand how a business operates. That is very critical, and that's now the route we are going. And that's why now Nyota, you have seen how sensitization was, the president coming up, talking to these young people, how to do this business. And I can tell you now, Nyota is a success story. Yeah.
There's somebody who's asking, in all these funds, especially Nyota and Hustler Fund, there's a component of it that is a pension, and another one that's saving, especially for the Hustler Fund.
Yes.
Right? When you borrow money, part of it goes into a bit of pension. And some into your savings.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking, when do I start accessing my savings?
And now, savings with the Hustler Fund, savings is in 2 categories. One is short-term savings, and 2 is long-term savings. Short-term savings you can access anytime. But the long-term savings, as soon as you are 60 years and above, then you can access it. We are saying we are creating a culture of savings. Savings is critical for the future, and for the rain days. When you have an opportunity, at least you have a saving. Instead of hustling with banks or wherever to get money, you have something you can go to and then be able to borrow, or use that particular money to do what you are supposed to do. So we are also, as you do business, as we encourage you to do business, and as a government, we are saying, if you do business, you are also creating jobs. So we must also develop a culture of savings in you, and that's why where you are seated, you even save in a Sacco here. Yep. Although your Sacco has also been struggling.
Our nation Sacco is doing very well. Doing very well.
So, that's the culture we are developing in these people.
How do you create more awareness about this element, the pension side of it? So I know, I think from having conversations with the CEO of the CPF fund, telling us that they are the administrators of the Hustler pension, right?
Yes.
So how do I know how much I have so far? How do I get my...
You can access it on the platform. You can access 2504, and then you go to savings, you will see. This thing is digital, and it has been proven.
Okay. Star?
You can access
*254 hash. It's the Hustler. It's the Hustler.
And then you go to Hustler, and then from there
you can borrow.
Then
you cannot repay.
You can borrow. Then you can go to savings. It can show you the balance. It can show you the short term. It can show you the long term. You see, when you borrow, at least 5% of it goes for your savings, and within that 5%, 70% goes for short term. Then the 30% goes for long term. Okay. And some people are saying, oh, that is tax that the government is taking. This money, government has nothing to do. Government is just providing an enabling environment for you to do business.
Okay.
And if you do business, you will employ people. And that's why the government is happy by you employing people.
The other thing, killing.
And then we have policy, by the way. A policy has come out for MSMEs.
Yes.
It is now before the cabinet. As soon as the cabinet will go out to show you how now the government can support you. And the other funds with other banks, like KCB the other day, they got a lot of money for MSMEs. We want to sensitize SMEs so that they are able also to access these funds.
Okay. I was going to say the other thing killing MSMEs is taxes, and the tax regime, how unpredictable it is, how punitive it has been. The last year, we saw, CS Mbadi take a very measured approach, but by and large, people are still recovering from a lot of what has been going on.
And the cost of compliance.
Yes, and the cost of compliance.
And the Waziri knows this very well because he has worked at the National Treasury as the minister in charge of planning when Kenya was on an upward trajectory.
Right.
And he was to be the cabinet secretary for the National Treasury had Azimio won. Now, what would you have done to support MSMEs on the
while over, MSMEs are nurtured over a period of time. I was in Germany. They take 3 years supporting MSME. India does the same. So Kenya should not be an exception. Kenya, we have started just Nyota. This is the first time effectively we are training these people. And within those 3 years, you are not expected to pay taxes. And I think that is the route we should go. Our essence should be to promote these people, to create economic activities, to create employment. Furthermore, when these people are employed, formally employed, they pay taxes. They will start paying taxes, payee as such. So we must have a policy, and that's why now we have a national policy coming up, that we nurture this MSME. They don't pay any corporation tax for 3 years, so that they are able to stabilize. And in that period also the government is supporting them and is following them, a procedure that we don't have at the moment. And we are learning from others.
When will this be effective?
The policy is already with the cabinet. So I'm hoping as soon as it's out of the cabinet, these are some of the issues that we need to implement.
Let's switch, because we are just have a couple of minutes. Let's switch into national politics. You are among the 4 experts donated by ODM to come and show up this government. Are you still an ODM member, or have you switched?
This is a very funny question. Had someone told you that I'm not a member or what?
That's what we're asking. You never know.
I'm still a live member of ODM.
Okay.
I'm still a live member of ODM. And I'm in this position because of ODM.
Which ODM?
You mean there are 2 ODMs?
Yes.
Or there are 3 ODMs or 4 ODMs?
We see splinters in ODM.
I'm not aware of any other ODMs. ODM is one.
When you look at ODM,
in any case, a party is registered by the political parties registrar.
Yeah.
So there must be one party
You're an elder.
which has been registered under ODM.
You're an elder in this party.
Yeah.
As a former deputy party leader.
Yes.
When you see what's happening in the party now, in terms of one faction, the party leader, Dr. Oburu Oginga, Gladys Wanga, and the others. And then on this other side, you've got the Secretary General and your former colleague in Governor, James Orengo, and others. What do you feel?
I can tell you that for me, who has been in this party since inception, that's quite unfortunate. In a party, we must, because we meet there as adults. And when you meet there as others, we meet there for a purpose. And any party that is formed, obviously is formed to get power through a legitimate process. So when we meet there, we are bound to be different perception on issues.
Right.
So unless we tolerate each other, then it becomes a problem. I remember I worked very closely with the late party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, and he was quite tolerant. People could abuse them. You think that he could react, but he doesn't react. Next time, you see him dining with the same fellow that was abusing him. And I think that's the route as a party we should go. Otherwise, we shall have factions. You never know. I hear there are now 2 factions. There might be a 3rd one coming up, and that would be very
unfortunate. Ground.
I've told you that I belong to one ODM. Yeah, so I don't know whichever one, which one has what. But
let me put it like this. Linda Ground is what would I call it? It includes some of the experts who were donated to government.
Linda Ground.
Yes, that is Linda. It's has Hassan Joho, Jeanette Mohammed, and co. Linda Monanchi is your Sifunas and Babu Winos and Osotsi.
No, but you see, that is just a faction. That is a faction. So you can't say that you should belong to a faction. I've said I belong to ODM. So wherever ODM is, wherever the certificate is, where I belong.
Okay.
And at the moment, I think I'm busy doing my work, the work that you have been asking me here. That's what I'm doing. Maybe next year or soon, I will make my position known.
Your pronouncement.
Your party has been saying now, in fact, after the Special Delegates Conference, the party leader was given the mandate to get into talks with UDA.
Yeah.
And we've just been seeing this dancing. Your colleague in cabinet and former colleague, deputy party leader Hassan Joho, said, we go for deputy president and it should go to the coast. What does Oparanya say?
I think at the moment, you must spare me on that. At the moment, I'm just working. And I've told you that I will make my position known when time comes. At the moment, I've been given a responsibility, and the responsibility is too much for me. So if I engage in unnecessary talks, maybe at the moment, it will mean my work will suffer.
Okay.
And so at the moment, let me tell you and repeat it, I'm in ODM. I will remain in ODM, but whichever position I'll decide, I will let it be known when the time comes.
As senior to your colleague experts, John Badi, Hassan Ali Joho, and Opio Wandai, who are all talking about the ongoing politics. Are you telling them to just focus on their job now, not talk at present?
You see, that is up to them. Personally, they can do what they want. But I've told you, personally, as a person, as Wycliffe and Best Oparanya, at the moment, I'm just doing my work. Of course, I'm a politician. I've come to this seat because of a political process. So I'm a political animal. But I've said clearly, spare me on that.
Okay. Do you think
we're trying to spare you? There are some people who
make my decision when time comes.
There are people who don't want to spare you, though.
Yeah. There are people who don't want to spare
people
me.
in Kakamega say that you're interfering with the politics of Kakamega.
What you interfering?
And I've seen you responding to that in public.
Yeah.
Set the record
when
straight.
you say that I'm interfering with politics of Kakamega, that's an a seriously unfortunate statement. One, I live in Kakamega. That's my home area. So anything happening in Kakamega, obviously, as a resident of Kakamega, one way or another, it will affect me. Yeah, because that's where I was born, and that's where I will be buried when I die. Yeah, so if you say I'm interfering, as if Kakamega has a political formation that is unique, and if they have that political formation that is unique, how do I get in? I'm at the national level, so how do I? What is my entry point? What will be my entry point to say that I'm interfering? Am I a member of the county assembly? Am I a member of the county executive? So what is the entry? Do I have a relative at the county assembly that I'm using? Do I have a relative at the executive that I'm using to interfere? So when you talk of interference, it's a very general term that I don't know what interfering means.
Are you saying, Waziri,
Yeah.
that through your own political influence in Kakamega, because you were governor there for 2 terms, and you'd been a member of parliament in the region, through your own political influence, there's no statement that you've made or meeting that you've held that have discussed the current leadership of Kakamega?
That me discussing a leader, I'm never in that category of leadership, to discuss other leaders, especially when the leaders are my juniors. How do I do that?
So what have you discussed? The issues of Kakamega?
Yeah,
so
if I'm meeting people, then I will be discussing issues to do with Kakamega, not necessarily politics.
And what are the current issues that you're discussing in Kakamega?
And in any case, you have not told me any evidence here. Where is the interference? What statements have I made that is contrary? The political formation that is there. What statement? And if you can give me any clip to show that this is what you said. I remember what I said last time is that the political leadership that is there at Kakamega should not involve me in their own political fightings that are there. Because me, I'm at the national level. But all the time, they even see my shadow. I think they see my shadow.
They imagine the scene.
They imagine anything that happens. And if I meet someone, even when I have met you like this, when you come out there, they will say, now this fellow is saying what he's saying because he was with Oparanya. Yeah, when you have just decided to give your own
views.
Own views.
All right. See? Let me ask you, do you think the government of the day, and specifically the cabinet, is better with yourself, Opio Wandai, Hassan Joho, and John Badi in it?
I can't say something on behalf of my colleagues. Yeah, because
from a performance perspective.
And I can't evaluate their performance.
No, I'm saying evaluate the performance of government. Do you think it's doing better after
unfortunately,
ODM donated?
Unfortunately, I didn't have any information about the performance of the previous cabinet minister, so that I compare. So I have nothing. I have
living in Kenya.
I have nothing to compare at the moment. But
context,
I can say that maybe when we came together as fruit-based government, then there's a lot of cohesion and a lot of peace at the moment. You know, that time. So there is a lot of inclusion from all, from the entire country. That now we are together. I can say that has been achieved.
You're saying you have no, benchmark.
I have no
previous
benchmark.
They were essentially fired, all of them. Clean house.
That's
a benchmark.
But I didn't have their scores. If I had their scores, then I would say that these ones are scoring better than the previous ones. I didn't have the scores.
You're being very elusive, evasive.
Before you were appointed to cabinet,
yes,
you were the one of the 3 deputy party leaders.
Two.
Of the largest
party,
opposition political party in this country. Obviously, you were sitting there as government in waiting.
Yeah.
Obviously, even as ODM was organizing the Maandamano and challenging the government, you were part of it.
Yeah.
So you are taking a score of that government then.
Yes.
And ODM in general was telling us that this government is not performing as it should.
Yes.
So I'll take that to be your scorecard as well.
Yeah.
That government, before you joined, was not performing as it ought to have been performing.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
So you had a scorecard.
Let me tell you.
So now let's compare that scorecard that you had as ODM deputy party leader.
Let me tell you. Politics is very strange. Sometimes you make comments out of not having enough information. When you get information, because people who are in government sometimes have more information than you. If you remember that time, I was saying, do not pay hustler fund.
Yeah.
Can I reword that? People who are in government have more money than you. That's the difference.
But when I came in,
it's not information.
I got more information. I'm now more knowledgeable why hustler fund is there. So sometimes politics is that you just take advantage of something. Yeah.
So when you were telling people don't repay this hustler fund, you're just politicking.
Yeah, that's why define the word politics. You are right. It's just politicking, but you don't have facts. You don't have facts because people in government have the advantage of having facts. Yeah. So me coming to government, I have now facts. I've seen what the government is doing, what the government intends to do, which is good for this country.
So we should not listen to any critique of government because it's not based on facts.
It's important because this is a democracy. A democracy gives you the opportunity to listen to everybody. You listen to opposition, listen to government, weigh yourself and see where the truth is.
But if only the government or people in government has the information and the facts, then there's no point in listening to other propagandists.
You see, the only thing is that as we have information, we should be able to give the information to the people.
Yeah.
Make that information be known. Maybe that is our shortcomings. But sometimes people don't want to listen to that information. You see, when you see the people now attacking each other, that's not politics. We should have politics that is issue-oriented.
Yeah.
And that's what the Vision 2030 provides under the political pillar. Read it. Issue-oriented politics.
So I've heard you say that before you joined government, whatever you were saying, you didn't have the benefit of information.
Yeah.
Now with the benefit of information, do you think the government pre-2024 August was actually doing well? But now you've joined the government. You've seen what they started doing in 2022, up to the point you joined, up to now. With the benefit of information, do you think that people were unfairly judging them?
I can authoritatively talk about when I joined in August 2024. What has happened? What was before then, I cannot comment on it because I was not in government. But I can tell you, and more so within my ministry, that within my ministry, I have already told you what we have done, the reforms that we are undertaking in the cooperative sector, in the Sacco sector, the coffee reforms that are there, the bills that we are introducing, the introduction of Nyota, you see, giving the youth opportunity. Yeah, I can tell you that the government is doing a lot within my own jurisdiction that the mandate have been given.
Fair
We are
enough.
doing well.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I can say from that viewpoint, I cannot judge what others are doing because, but because we are cabinet, I say everybody, saying they are trying their best.
So,
Okay.
so then, because many of the things that you're doing now are things that were planned and started to be implemented even before you joined cabinet.
Yeah.
So can you say then that
There are some
that
but-
government was actually forward thinking?
There are some, but there are some also we have come up with. Like I found the cooperative bill going on, and I took it over. But some, like now, review of this, the Sacco Societies Act. That is our initiative, my initiative when I came to government. I found Nyota was going on. We have improved here and there, and we have implemented the first phase. Yeah. So, and there is no government that will survive unless it's forward-looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get into some comments. There's quite a few on YouTube and questions as well. Someone was like, Eric and Mariam, kumbe kuna Nation Sacco and your members. Yes, and it's doing well, contrary to opinion.
Yeah.
Looking at a question. Oh, this is an interesting one. Are Matatu Saccos under this minister? That's Eva Maina.
Yeah. Anything called Sacco
Yes.
must be under this ministry. But you see, the way is the formation and the registration. So if it's not registered in accordance with the Cooperative Act,
Yes.
then you can call yourself anything, Sacco or what, but you are not recognized under the ministry.
So even for Matatu Saccos, they must have
Yeah.
this minimum of how many members?
1,000.
1,000.
And then register a Sacco for the purpose of giving affordable credit, not collecting money and taking it to the owner.
Okay.
Yes, then that's not a Sacco.
So should we rename the Matatu Sacco?
Yeah, in fact, they have to be renamed, and
Stop calling them Sacco and call them-
and even the bill that is already before Parliament specifies that. So as soon as that bill goes out, is signed by the president, is signed off by the president, they will no longer use the word Sacco, unless they comply with what I'm telling you.
Okay. Yalogin says, yes, would you consider mandating SACCOs to publish quarterly results like credit unions for better governance and transparency?
Already that is taken care. We have said not quarterly, but half yearly.
Okay.
It is only once, but we have said half yearly. Yes.
Lincoln Muri 3542 says, I need clarification on the Sacco Societies Amendment Bill 2025. I think they just want to know, there was a question they had asked as well.
Which clarification, in which area specifically?
Yes, because he had threaded with another question. I'll find it and answer what kind of clarification he needs.
Yeah.
Then there's a lot of pushback on Hustler Fund. People essentially saying these monies, whether it's 2K, they're not sufficient for being able to grow people. Peter Otieno says, small loans and initial loan limits of 500 to 1K are insufficient for meaningful business capital. These amounts function more as survivalist consumption credit rather than enterprise development, which is the same point we were trying to make. I know you pushed. Yes,
I've already
and you've
clarified
already
that. Yeah.
The 22,000 for Nyota Fund.
Yes, was basically.
This is a national conversation,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And you've also had some opposition leaders talking about the loan. It's not free money that you're getting. Talk a little bit about the Nyota Fund and justify 22,000.
What is he saying that is loan? This money is a grant of 50,000. It's a grant. This 50,000, within that grant, we have said you get the first installment of 25,000. Out of 25,000, 3,000 is saved for you at NSSF. 3,000. But the government, again, to motivate you, gives you another 3,000. So as soon as your 3,000 goes there, the government tops up. They are motivating you, save more.
Matches your saving.
As you do your business, they matches your saving. And then you remain with 22. And you saw what the beneficiaries were saying, that this money will change their lives. Right. That was phase one. And we are saying you go through some training. I told you initially that before, these initiatives were there, but people were not trained to know how to handle money. Yeah? So we are now doing the training for them 4 days, and then we are doing mentorship. Now, as I talk now, the mentorship process of Nyota is going on, where now you are attached to someone who has done business for a long time. To now you see the behavior and how he does the business, the tips and so on. For another 1 month. Thereafter, we shall come back and automatically give you, and out of that, we shall now evaluate the rate of people who are going on. Some, one case or the other, you'll find someone has got the money. Yeah. He has got to misuse the money. So he's out of business. For the few that will remain, for those that will remain, and we are hopeful that over 90% will remain, we'll give them the other 25 and do the same savings, 3 and then match it. You have 12,000 as now a buffer for you to build up your business. And then you are trained. And then you are given. So we are with you, moving with you for 6 months. But I have said here clearly that we need 3 years to nurture these people. Okay. So maybe the next program that we are going to have, that's what, after the policy is out, that's what we are going to do.
Okay. So the money that is coming to the beneficiary is coming to them as a grant.
As a grant.
It's not a loan to them.
It's not a loan to them.
But the money that they are receiving is a money that the government has received from the World Bank.
It's not necessarily World Bank. Other development partners also.
From development partners.
And also from government, from your money.
Okay.
It's also from your money.
Is there any element of that money that is a loan?
A loan to the beneficiary?
To government?
No. From World Bank and the development partners to government.
Yeah. Obviously, we have to raise resources. So some can be grants also from development partners, some can be loans, and some can be allocation from our budget.
So tunalipa your loan, Aji, now that it's going as a grant. But it's coming in as a loan and going out as a grant.
Government is a social animal. Government takes care of its people. Government spends on you to take care of your health. Do you pay back? Government gives you a subsidy for your health. Government gives you a subsidy for your education. Do you pay back?
Through taxes.
Through my taxes.
But your taxes as an individual is not enough.
Not enough.
Yes, it's not enough.
So what you're saying is collectively...
So government is a social animal to take care of its people, its children. It's not supposed to overtax. That tax is just to run as a social. It's not someone's to go to the pocket of someone. If it goes to the pocket of someone, it's unfortunate.
Agreed, but it does not make sense to then to have a loan that will be paid back by taxpayer money still, right? Because essentially it will still be the taxes.
You see what the government is doing. This is economies.
And for it to go out
this is
as
economies of scale. I can still, we are trying to help 1 million young people, 1 million. I can still say, out of the out of the allocations, budget allocation, I help 10,000 per year. Because from your taxes, 10,000. But now, if I have to do mass, because many people are suffering, what do I do? Even you, if you want to do something, you come and borrow from the Sacco. That's the same way government is behaving. They want now mass do 1 million this year, do 1 million next year to create impact. How do they behave? They look for money elsewhere.
They mobilize resources.
They mobilize the resources.
I think that
the word
is clear.
mobilization is crucial.
What the clarity that, here, and that's where the politics of it comes in, is just to be clear that, yes, you are receiving the 50,000 shillings as a grant to you. You're not expected to pay back.
Yes.
But through your taxes, the government shall pay the tax element, the loan elements of that money. Some of this money that we are giving as 50,000 shillings has been borrowed from other sectors.
I don't know why you are emphasizing that. Where I get the money to help you is not your business.
It is.
What is crucial?
I will be taxed for that money.
Who
It
tells you?
is.
You don't know. Who tells you will be taxed? I might get it from a mining. I might get it from mining direct.
True.
We might discover oil and I get it from there.
But
why are you crying about your taxes?
PFM says that you shall be very, very
transparent.
But that's what I'm telling you. That you are relying on where the money is coming from, other than where the money is going.
Okay, just to close, we have 30 seconds. Jeremy Mutuma is saying, if advising people not to repay Hustler Fund was politics, why should Kenyans believe you when you say it's working now, today, and not politics?
I'm saying.
How do we know you're not politicking now?
I'm saying, and I said clearly, information. I didn't have the information. Now I have the information. I was very sincere in my saying. I didn't have information because I was outside there. I'm inside. I have the information.
Now you can see.
Now, that time I was politicking. Now I'm not politicking. I'm talking of the reality.
Waziri, we thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
We've had conversations around Sacco and Sacco regulations that the Waziri is proposing. Also, cooperatives regulations that the Waziri is proposing. Talked about the Hustler Fund, talked about the Nyota Fund, talked about a bit of politics. He's an elder and he says he is in ODM. He's not moved. But he is not playing any politics locally. He is about that. He's national. Right? That is FCPA Wycliffe Oparanya. Daktari Wycliffe Oparanya. Dr. Wycliffe Oparanya, the Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives and MSME Development. Thank you for tuning in to Fixing the Nation, one conversation at a time. We'll be with you again tomorrow morning, God willing, from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Coming up next on Nation FM, Claudia and
Brian Aseli.
And
kuna mwingine?
Show.
On Vibe Shift. On Vibe Shift.
Right. And on NTV, it's Your World.